Hi, Matt Stait again from the Festival of Martial Arts. And today I've got with me Phil Churchill. Hi, Phil. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, my friend. Very good, my friend. So we start these the same way, which is I ask the guests to give us a bit of an overview about themselves and their history and what it is they do for people that may not have heard of them yet.
Okay. So, like I say, my name's Phil Churchill. I've been teaching for, I think it's 8 years now, 8 or 9 years. It's freestyle martial arts. I've just sort of, I'm a cherry picker, to be fair. You know, I've picked out my favorite bits from various different things that I've picked up over the years. And brought it together in quite a sort of loose style that I can adapt to suit anybody. There's an awful lot of people out there that are unbelievable athletes, fantastic martial artists, and that's not what I'm all about. I'm about those people that need martial arts. You know, that the people that are unfit, the people that have got health problems, disabilities, things like that, and trying to find a niche for them. You know.
Okay, yeah. So do you run your own school or classes or
Yeah, I got my own school. It's called Plan C Training, based out of North Somerset. We've got about, I don't know, about 100 and something students at the moment, and it's growing all the time. It's a fantastic club of great people.
good stuff? Good stuff. And are you so if you had to put a framework on it, because freestyle is such an open-ended term that well, that's the point of the word freestyle, isn't it? So if somebody was coming to your class for the first time, what could they
Mhm.
expect it to sort of look like? Does it fall into any kind of bracket? Has it got any kind of parent arts, if you like?
I would say it's sort of mainly split three ways, and that would be taekwondo for the kicks, karate for the strikes, and leaning towards kung fu sort of style blocks. That's really the sort of the basics of it if I had to break it down.
Okay, right, yeah. Well, that's a pretty good mix. And so when you're so have you got a syllabus in place? Have you got a structure? Is there a set systematic way that you go about bringing people through?
Yeah, we've got obviously the belt system and a curriculum that's never set in stone. So it's not like the traditional arts, as in this is the way it's always been done, and we follow and keep up with that tradition. Ours is ever changing. So I dare say that after attending the Festival of Martial Arts this year, I'm probably going to have learned something new myself. I'll practice it, I'll teach it to my instructors, we'll break it down, have a look at it, and think, yeah, this needs to be in our curriculum. So it gives us that flexibility to adapt and change
Yeah,
to
yeah.
see.
Yeah, well, like the hope is that everybody has that moment where they learn something new at the festival, and because that's kind of one of the reasons for it being brought into the world in the first place. Now, um, when people talk about the term freestyle, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. So, just curious on your take on that, because I know that some people have used it in a way that you're describing, which is to be able to amalgamate new things into it and take a fresh approach and keep things contemporary and relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also the other side of the freestyle name, if you like, which is can be used or has been used in the past sometimes for people that basically don't really want to be part of an organization or fit into an organization or can't for whatever reason. Um,
Mm.
so, what's your take on the term freestyle itself?
I use freestyle just because I don't want to use the term mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts MMA is now synonymous with Bellator and UFC and stuff like that. And my classes are aimed primarily towards children. No parent wants to sort of watch UFC and see blood all over the ring and then say, "Yeah, that's what I want my kid doing." So we came in with freestyle martial arts as an acceptable alternative, but I mean, we're members of the British Martial Arts and Boxing Association because obviously I wouldn't be recognised in a karate organisation or taekwondo federation or anything like that.
Mm.
So being a member of the BMABA gives me the chance to make sure that what I've come up with, the curriculum I've come up with, the way that I teach and everything else, and to be able to handle any sort of complaints or anything else, that there is a governing body
Mm.
that is there keeping me honest and making sure what I do is good stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because and apart from anything else, we're hopefully forever students ourselves, and we need to be part of a wider group of individuals and organisations to be able to expand our knowledge and bring the best to the table, isn't it? So yeah, totally with that. So when you look at this now from you mentioned traditional earlier on, and when you look at being able to say fold things into your syllabus, is there a sort of criteria towards that you look for specifically? Does it have to have a little checklist?
It's got to be something relevant. I mean, there's some things in some of the older traditional martial arts that are designed towards, battle scenarios or war scenarios that just don't happen, horses and swords and whatever else. And as much as those arts are absolutely fantastic, I try and keep mine as something relevant towards self-defense.
Mm.
So I don't really need self-defense for somebody coming at me on horseback with, a pole arm, because it generally doesn't happen on the mean streets of Glastonbury or Western or wherever.
Mm.
So it's got to be something that's relevant, usable, and useful to people. I mean, other than, there's no point me listing all the benefits of martial arts. Obviously, yourself and all your listeners know all the benefits and health and everything else. But it's also that thing of, am I actually going to use this on a Saturday night in the pub,
Mm.
or in the playground at school or whatever, things like that. So I'm always sort of striving to look for those sort of things: simple, easy to remember,
Mm.
usable moves.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those where having that flexibility, because one of the things that I always used to sort of complain about, if you like, years ago, and I don't so much now, but years ago, where I was predominantly training in sort of Eastern arts, I was always at this disadvantage because, like, I'm 6'2", I'm a big guy, and I'd stick up like a sore thumb. And what would work for somebody 5'4", more often than not, wouldn't work for me without modification. And I found that to be quite challenging at the time, because it was very regimental and very rigid. And I'm not sure whether that still applies now today. I think we've moved on a little bit. But yeah, that was one of my biggest sort of critiques, if you will, of that style of training all of those years ago. But as you say, we've moved forward, we've moved on. So that brings us to what you're looking to do at the festival itself. Have you got any ideas in mind?
I mean, my favorite thing to teach, I've got a lot of disabled students, cerebral palsy and motor neuron disease, blindness, things like this. I love the challenge of looking at someone, looking at the way they move and thinking, okay, well, there's no reason you can't do that move. But if we adapt this, if we maybe rotate the hip first and then do the step, or whatever it might be. So I love that side of it. So I'm hoping to do some sort of usable self-defense, quick, simple, easy moves, simple to remember when the adrenaline's going, but being able to adapt it to, like you say, somebody 5'2" and 100 pounds to somebody 300 pounds and 6'4", making it work for everyone. That's my particular sort of favorite thing when I'm teaching. So
Okay, yeah, fantastic. Yeah. So what will people need anything specific to come and join into your sessions, or is it just a case of turn up, you don't need anything special, no clothing, no fancy weaponry, no anything, just a willing attitude?
just the attitude. At the end of the day, we all train in uniforms. Most martial arts clubs train barefoot and everything else. But to make self-defense work, you can't sort of say, whoa, hang on a minute, don't attack me yet. Let me take your shoes off, have a stretch. I haven't bowed in yet, and then we'll have a bit of self-defense. No, it's got to work in, high heels, backpack on, kids holding hands, whatever. You've got to be able to just bang, go.
Hmm.
And if you can't, then what good is it?
Yeah. Again, I tend to agree with the sentiment. Yeah, if you can't do it in your everyday gear and the things that you would mostly be wearing in the places where you'd mostly be, then you've got to sort of look at it and address what you're training in if self-defense is your outcome. Then
Mm.
again, lots of people train for enjoyment, fitness, community, lots of other good reasons as well. So, right, fantastic. So, how can people reach out to you if they want to get in touch before the festival itself?
Um, any way you like. I've got email, I've got website, you name it, social media. Easiest way is probably on Facebook. Just find me on Phil Churchill. Plan C Training's got its own Facebook page, but either one you can get hold of me on.
Okay.
Or just search for the website, plan-c-training.co.uk.
All right, fantastic. I'll drop that link down in the description for people so that they can follow that up. And yeah, we thank you very much for coming on board, and we look forward to seeing you on the weekend.
Brilliant job. Looking forward to it. Thank you.